Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, a Tuskegee Airman and Torrance resident receives a prestigious award. We'll have his inspiring story. And we'll show you which photo won the Centennial Photo Contest. Then the Torrance Theater Company's upcoming show is the perfect match for music lovers. We'll bring you a sneak peek. Plus, these exceptional athletes need a place to play their favorite sport. We'll tell you how you can help. These stories and much more just seconds away. Your local news starts right now. Hello everyone and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. Here are your top stories. The water wars here in California continue. Governor Jerry Brown's administration said it will move forward with the $23 billion plan to build tunnels that will move water from the north to Southern California. The plans call for the construction of two massive tunnels beneath the San Joaquin Delta. Years of above-ground water export have contributed to the decline in the Delta's ecosystem. Supporters of the proposal say this plan is the best way to restore the Delta habitat. But all this comes with a major price tag. Water users would foot the $14 billion construction bill and $5 billion in operating costs, and state taxpayers would cover most of the $3 billion expense for habitat restoration. Now, none of this is set in stone. If water agencies can't be assured of acceptable water deliveries, they could pull out. The project must also win permits from state and federal agencies responsible for endangered species protections. Well, here are some highlights from the most recent City Council meeting. Friends and family of the veterans to be honored with the Hometown Heroes banner were recognized at this meeting. They were also given a replica of the banners that will adorn Torrance Boulevard. The Hometown Heroes banner program is a new program to honor veterans of current and past wars. It's ongoing, and banners will be displayed for 3 months or until there are enough banners for the next series. More information on the banners program can be found on the city's website. The Centennial Committee filed their quarterly report. They highlighted some of their accomplishments, like April's Beautification Month and the rededication of the Veterans Memorial Wall. The committee has now been focused on the Centennial Plaza dedication and the community parade coming in the fall. The committee has asked that more youth organizations submit to participate in the parade, which happens on September 16th. Applications to be in the parade are due on August 16th. As of June 30th, the committee has raised more than $330,000 from local businesses and supporters. And later in the show, we'll tell you more about the veteran who was given a special honor at this week's meeting. A new car dealership is sure to bring some new business to Hawthorne Boulevard. This may look like a party, but it's actually the grand opening of a new Scott Robinson dealership. 51 years ago, they started with Pontiac, then moved on to Honda, and now the Scott Robinson dealerships are adding Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram offerings to their mix. The Scott Robinson family of dealerships is also a family business.
Scott Robinson was my grandfather. He and my father Don started Scott Robinson Pontiac in 1961 on Hawthorne Boulevard, where we're still at today. So we've been in business for over 51 years, and we're so excited to add Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram to our lineup. They're just building fantastic cars and trucks right now. So Scott and my father Don opened the dealership. We got Honda in 1970. And I went to USC and graduated from USC and started working in the car business and just loved it.
This newest Scott Robinson dealership is located at 2900 Hawthorne Boulevard. For more information, visit ScottRobinsonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. There was a celebration in the streets of Torrance recently, partly for Torrance's win as the All-America City back in the 1950s, and partly for the city's centennial.
Bring her back to me. Bring her back to me. Bring her back to me.
If you feel like you've been transported to the 50s, well, that's the point. The Rock Around the Block party was renamed Rock Around a Century for the city centennial, but the party had all the food, music, and fun that residents hope for every year. Hula hoop, bubblegum chewing, and good old-fashioned pie eating contests were just some of the activities that brought hundreds of locals out to downtown Torrance. And later in the show, we'll tell you how you can see more great highlights from Rock Around the Block, Rock Around the Century, and all the special programming CitiCABLE has created for the Torrance Centennial. Coming up, we'll tell you how the Torrance Theater Company is raising the roof on a popular musical, and we'll show you some never-before-seen historic Torrance photographs.
So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part. New research tells us that just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello.
Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
A public service message on building strong bones for kids from the Pediatric Orthopedic Society of North America and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
For others, it may have just been a summer job. But for me, it was training. Now I'm an Air Force pararescueman, and my job is to save lives. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
They call them the golden years, and for many seniors, they are. But for too many others, retirement is like a prison.
Do you have any jacks?
The difference? This couple saved for their retirement, and this couple didn't. It's your choice. Choose to save. To learn how to get started, get your free Power to Choose brochure, because your retirement can truly be your golden years.
If you could see anything in the world, what would it be? I'd love to see Paris.
I like to see cupcakes falling from the sky.
To save your vision in the years ahead, call your eye doctor for a comprehensive eye exam today. Then call 1-800-437-2423 or log on to seeabettertomorrow.org to learn about glaucoma and macular degeneration.
I just want to see more of the things I love.
The Torrance Theater Company is bringing an old favorite back to their stage. Reporter Jay-Z Jeans has a sneak preview of their summer production.
So what would have been so terrible if I had a small fortune?
It's been more than 30 years since the Torrance Theater Company performed Fiddler on the Roof. The Broadway hit is sure to be the perfect summer musical when they open on August 11th. Fiddler on the Roof is one of Broadway's longest-running shows. It's not easy breathing new life into long-running classics, but the Torrance Theater Company is up to the challenge. The 36-member cast has been rehearsing since mid-June in preparation for the opening night performance. Director Jim Hormel plans to use a secret weapon to make sure the audience has a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
What we're doing to make this one special is that we've been able to bring in someone who worked with Jerome Robbins, who created this show. So the choreography and a lot of the staging you're seeing is the original choreography.
The show is full of songs that most of us will find ourselves humming, and the message found between the songs contains a timeless theme.
This play is really about the breakdown of traditions in this town of Anatevka in Russia, and little by little how their world changes from being a safe, predictable world to one that's full of chaos.
Fiddler on the Roof is a musical full of plot twists and emotional high points, but what sets this production apart is seeing the actors' interpretations of familiar roles.
To me, the challenge is to play Golda and show the love that she does have for her family and for her life and her husband, even though she always sounds very annoyed with them.
Opening night will start off with a bang. There will be a pre-show gala with food and a live klezmer band.
We're going to celebrate the tradition of not only Anatevka and Fiddler on the Roof, but also Torrance Theater Company's past and getting everyone excited for the future also.
For This Week in Torrance, I'm Jay-Z Jeans.
Torrance Theater Company's production of Fiddler on the Roof kicks off on Saturday, August 11th and runs until August 25th at the James Armstrong Theater. For more information, visit torrancetheatercompany.com. This year's class of Leadership Torrance was tasked with creating a community project, and they did just that with the Centennial Photo Contest. Reporter Alexa Sita tells us how the project unearthed some pieces of Torrance history.
I had them hanging on my wall at home, and I saw the ad for the contest. I said, I'm just going to submit those two.
After a month-long search, 11 Torrance residents like Murphy were chosen as finalists in the Centennial Photo Contest. People, businesses, and landmarks were all featured among the winning photos, and each one has a story.
Sepulveda School was a school my sister and I attended when we were in grade school.
The photo that Braden submitted is from 1970 and shows Mark and his sister holding a flag that she designed for the school.
It was a meaningful picture, and it's something I wanted to be part of city history.
Another part of the city's history is Torrance Cycle and Fix-It Shop.
They did lock work and bicycles. And it is on El Prado, which the location is now the Torrance Bakery.
Taken in the late 1940s, the photo also shows Murphy's uncles, Paul and Ben Smith, standing proudly in front of their shop. But the photo that earned Murphy the grand prize tells an even lesser-known story.
The grand prize photo is a picture of the Torrance Factory Frolics, which is now the Armed Forces Day Parade.
Finalists were honored at a ceremony thanks to Leadership Torrance, the community group that sponsored the contest. And while it may have been nice to be recognized, these winners were happy to have the photos speak for themselves.
It's part of history. It's something we can grab onto. A lot of times in a very transient world like today, people come and go, and so you lose that history. Photos represents a semi-permanent way of remembering that history.
For Torrance City Cable, I'm Alexa Sita.
Thanks, Alexa. To see the winning photos, visit our torrancephotos.com. Some exceptional athletes are looking for the right place to play their favorite sport. Reporter J.Z. Jeans finds out how residents can help.
Friends of Torrance Exceptional Athletes, or FTEA, is a nonprofit organization for mentally disabled athletes. Bocce ball is one of the athletes' favorite sports to play. The object of the game is to get your team's bocce ball as close as possible to the Polino ball.
I enjoy it because it brings people and friendship in the community so we can understand our difficult handicaps.
It brings people together. It also lets you express your love and understanding for each other.
Currently, there aren't any usable bocce courts in Torrance. So Coach Karen Geyer joined volunteers Joel Massa and Bob Chioda and started the South Bay Bocce Courts Project, a fundraising effort to build bocce ball courts in Columbia Park.
We responded to a city's request for something to beautify the city. And when we hit on the bocce courts as a solution, that hit a perfect note with the mayor, the park director.
All of the funds will be raised in a grassroots manner through donations from individuals, small businesses, and corporations. The project will cost around $55,000. The courts will be specially designed to accommodate the physically disabled.
We designed them so that at either end of the courts, there'll be a set of doors that allow them to come onto the court with their scooter, their wheelchair, whatever way to get on there.
Bocce ball has universal appeal. It's a game of angles and strategy that's fit for everyone.
Some of them can't do basketball or soccer, and this is something that everybody can do.
When I saw these guys playing, I just came out and practiced, and I got good at it.
For Coach Geyer, bocce ball plays a special role in her life.
I have a brother, 55 years old, that Down syndrome, that lives with me, and that's how I got involved. And he has, over the years, outgrown the contact sports such as basketball and soccer and things like that.
Coach Geyer says that bocce ball is both recreational and therapeutic. Once the courts are built, everyone will have a place to enjoy the timeless sport. For This Week in Torrance, I'm J.Z. Jeans.
For more information on the Friends of Torrance Exceptional Athletes, visit friendsoftorea.org. Coming up after the break, we'll bring you the inspiring story of one of the last surviving Tuskegee Airmen.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
License and registration, please. Know why I pulled you over? That's right, you were texting. Sit tight, I'll be right back.
Zombies. When you drive and use your phone, you pay over a third less attention to the road.
Something's not right. My first symptoms were
constant tingling in my toes,
double vision. They said you have multiple sclerosis.
Kind of had to get a grasp on reality.
I had to adapt and change very rapidly.
I had to learn how to drive with my hands. Yeah, that was interesting.
A symptom may cause you not to be able to do that anymore. And at one point, I wasn't able to do any of those.
Since I've been cycling, it's definitely helped my walking.
It's a fantastic opportunity to be working together with a common goal of curing MS, and sharing is the key.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.
In this centennial year, CitiCABLE 3 has been bringing you special centennial programming every week. For just $20, you can own a box DVD set of all of these programs. Visit torrancecentennial.org for details. And finally, one of the last surviving Tuskegee Airmen was honored during this week's City Council meeting. Reporter J.Z. Jeans had the opportunity to learn from this living hero.
In 1942, Walter Crenshaw decided to join the U.S. Army Air Forces. He trained at a small facility for African Americans in rural Tuskegee, Alabama. At the time, he had no idea how historically important his role would be. Crenshaw served as a sergeant in the Air Group's administration offices.
I had a hand in the operation of the cadets, and I'm proud of that. Very proud of that.
When Crenshaw joined the USAAF, he wasn't trying to break barriers and make history. He simply wanted to have a career in the Army like many young men at that time.
Most of them were fresh out of college, raring to go, hot in the head.
The Tuskegee Airmen were trained in overcrowded classrooms and airstrips. They were treated like second-class citizens, facing racial discrimination from within and outside of the Army. But through all this, they never lost their resolve to defend the country that they called home. It wasn't easy to be a Tuskegee Airman. These men had to undergo rigorous training and perform at their highest levels, not to mention risk their lives on enemy lines, all while enduring discrimination on a regular basis.
Couldn't tell them we were just as good as you. They showed them that they were just as good as you, and better in a lot of instances.
This week, the city of Torrance presented Crenshaw with a replica of the Congressional Gold Medal. He wasn't able to make the 2007 presentation in Washington, D.C. by then-President George W. Bush. The medal honors the accomplishments and highlights the history of the Tuskegee Airmen. Though Crenshaw humbly accepts credit for the difference he's made for African Americans today, just one thought comes to mind when he thinks of how far he's come.
Look at me now. I wish my mother could see this. That's all I got to say.
For This Week in Torrance, I'm J.Z. Jeans.
Thank you, Jay-Z. Nearly 1,000 Tuskegee Airmen earned their wings and officer commissions during World War II. The Congressional Gold Medal the airmen collectively received in 2007 is currently on display at the Smithsonian. And the airfield where the airmen trained is now the Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site. To see the City Council meeting where Walter Crenshaw is honored, visit the city's website at torranceca.gov. Well, that's going to do it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Okay.